The Letters on the Wall by M.J. Clements. I could see a room filled with the usual furniture and decor. I began to see letters come off every item in the room, including the walls. I would watch as one letter would tumble off from an area, then another and another. The letters fell into place and began to bring clarity to my mind. They would form into words, then sentences. As the letters tumbled off and made their form, the usual stuff in the room reformed, and now were no longer what they were. To my understanding, they were not in their proper place, and the room had become misinformed. And as the letters made their place, that which was seen could no longer be seen, and that which was unseen could now be seen. But how could this be? There is no form. It's dark. How can I even see? Yet I do see. Questioning as I struggled to understand, I looked before me and found a sentence, and this is what the sentence said. "This is the way, walk in it." The words lit up, and so I began to walk. But how could I even search? How could I even see this sentence? I was perplexed, and yet I was at peace. I continued to walk this way. The room itself became obsolete, void. All that was comprehensible were the words that formed the sentences. I found myself walking on every word that presented itself, so I continued to follow its lead. And word upon word, sentences were created, and a flicker of understanding was aroused. It was dark, yet the words illuminated the path. It was as though it were like a lamp to my feet. The more I walked on the path, the brighter it became, and I could see truth holding me steady, even in the depth of the darkness. As I continued to walk, my senses were heightened. I heard a voice that sounded from behind, and this time I heard the words, "This is the way, walk in it." I quickly turned around to see if I could see anyone speaking to me, but all I could see was darkness. The room that once was there had now completely disappeared. I continued to walk the lighted path, and the words directed my every step, as though they were ordained for me. As the words made their path before me, I heard the voice speak again. "I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life." Just then the air became damp and cold. I felt alone. I began to weep. In my mind, I wondered why I was even weeping. I felt so very alone. The cold, damp feeling made me feel far away from something. I wasn't sure what was happening to me when in a moment I could hear the voice say, "Apart from me, you can do nothing." The voice continued, "I am the Lord, and there is no other. Apart from me, there is no God. I will strengthen you, though you have not acknowledged me." As I heard these words, I felt my body go from cold to warm. I knew the bright light strengthened me. The light shone so bright, almost blinding my eyes like one who glanced at the sun. It got brighter and brighter, squinting and shielding my eyes, for they had conformed to the darkness so much that seeing even the start of the brightness made my eyes water and burn. Even the words lighting my path fixed my eyes to see only what I could see, which was very little. The darkness was all around, even within. My understanding was the same, in the dark, and very little. Then the voice broke through the darkness and silence, and with great force, the brightness of a new day burst forth like the first dawn, and all I could do was kneel in awe. I heard the voice say, "So that from the rising of the sun to the place of its setting, people may know there is none besides me. I am the Lord, and there is no other. I form the light and create darkness. I bring prosperity and create disaster. I, the Lord, do all these things." I heard the breath of the voice inhale, and suddenly what little light within me became brighter, like one blowing on the embers of kindling that was set to burn. Again I heard the breath of the voice inhale, except this time it was quick, and with great power it blew forcefully across the vast darkness, and in the blink of an eye all was revealed. No darkness, just complete light. I suddenly felt the words, Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. I felt myself begin to move in a circle, and as I began to circle about, the light took form in colors: emerald green, sapphire blue, golden topaz, and amethyst, and even colors I had never seen before. They circled about like a beautiful ribbon on a gift. I looked above, and I saw crimson red begin to flow down. It washed over me, and as it washed, I looked down and could see the purest of white rise up. It covered my entire being. I felt my heart beat. I felt my body form and could see beautiful pink palms. They were mine. I knew my eyes were a beautiful color like that of a lapis lazuli blue. My mouth opened, and succulent juices from grapes dripped on my tongue. My nostrils were filled with a desirable aroma of fresh-baked bread, to which I heard, "I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never go hungry, and whoever believes in me will never be thirsty." I felt the form of my body grow and be, and I heard these words like a song deep within. "For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place. When I was woven together in the depths of the earth, your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be." At that very moment I knew I was headed for a destiny not my own, but to come back to the one who created me. Just then a violent wind rose up, and all that was meant to be created was established. Mountains arose, and clouds overhead built up with rains, and they came down. I looked about and saw that I was in the midst of this life. But I knew him not, the one who created me. "Open my eyes," I cried. My heart beat faster. "Open the eyes of my heart," I pleaded. But all that came out were the sounds of a baby's cry. I realized I was meant for this moment, but I wasn't sure what I was meant for. My eyes saw the room, the place at which I stood, and for but a glimpse, where I could see the letters on the wall begin its story.